Like any other top 5 list, it was a challenge putting this together. I mean, how do you choose only 5 peppers? Not easy. We've grown dozens of varieties over the years here at Small House, so to narrow it down, I needed peppers that were not only productive, but could also have time to ripen before the frost here in Michigan. I'm not really into the super hots, so I know I could eliminate those. I've also chosen some varieties for their interesting backstories, and some just because they're beautiful. So, without further ado, here are my top 5 peppers. To start us off at number 5, we have Cayenne. This is a classic, right? But I love growing Cayenne peppers, and they're so useful. We dry half the harvest, then we crush it into flakes, and then we use it in the kitchen, and then we infuse the rest of the peppers in oil, which we then use in our muscle and joint salve that we sell on our website. The capsaicin, the same chemical that gives the peppers their spice, is wonderful for topical pain relief. Sore muscles, joint pain, inflammation, Cayenne peppers is what you need. They're useful in the kitchen, but also in the apothecary. That's why I had to include them in my top 5 list. And at number 4, it's going to be Shishito peppers. This pepper was developed in Japan, but it's become quite popular at restaurants all over the world. Most commonly, Shishito peppers are served green, but I also enjoy them after they've ripened to turn red. You just cook them in a dry cast iron pan on the stovetop until they blister, and then toss them with a little toasted sesame oil, maybe some sesame seeds. It's a mild pepper, but every once in a while you can get a hot one, so that's a fun surprise. My number 3 favorite pepper right now is one that's simply called the fish pepper. It's a great little pepper with an interesting history, but what I really love about the variety is how beautiful the plants are. The leaves on the plant are variegated, and the peppers start off white, and then they develop yellow and green striping before they finally turn red as they mature. It is a gorgeous plant. It's perfect for edible landscaping, and the peppers are just about as hot as jalapenos, although they are a bit smaller in size. Next on our list, coming in at number 2, we have Calabrian chilies. Now, as the name implies, these peppers were bred and selected in the Calabrian region of southern Italy, and they do have a bit of kick. They're often packed in oil, but I've also seen them used dried and ground. Truth be told, I was first turned on to these peppers because of Bobby Flay. He uses them a lot on the show, and I got my seeds from our friend Jeff Quattrone, who you might remember was our guest on the very first episode of this podcast. I've been trying to get more in touch with the food crops connected to my ancestors, and much of my family came to America from southern France and Italy. So during my hunt for seeds connected to Italy, Jeff offered me some of these classic Italian peppers, and I just couldn't refuse. I'm super happy about it too, because these Calabrian chilies were crazy productive and super tasty. And my number 1 favorite pepper right now is Tabasco. I'm serious. The same pepper that they use to make Tabasco sauce, which can be found in grocery stores practically everywhere. In March of 22, Heather and I took a trip down to Louisiana to celebrate my birthday. And of course, we went to New Orleans and we did all the things. Then we spent a day exploring Lafayette. We hiked a swamp. We drove down in the Delta and we ate all of the food. It was amazing. But one of the highlights of the trip for me was visiting Avery Island. It's home of the world-famous Tabasco sauce. And to learn about the local history surrounding this pepper and the impact that it had on the region was just fascinating to me. Best of all, I was able to get some Tabasco pepper seeds from the island to bring home and grow in my garden. Now, obviously, they have a longer growing season down there in Louisiana, but the peppers grew just fine. And I was even able to harvest seeds from mature Tabasco peppers grown right here in my Michigan garden. And that's it. That's my top 5 favorite peppers for now. We actually grew all these varieties in our garden last year, and we saved seeds to share with all of you. So if you'd like to try growing some of these wonderful peppers, you can find our seeds for sale at smallhousefarm.com. We offer more than just peppers too. We have tomatoes, beans, greens, herbs, flowers, so much more. We have lots of rare and unique heirlooms for your garden, so be sure to check out the selection at smallhousefarm.com.